Hello, good evening. Doug here from the Hundredfold Journey. Welcome to Wednesday Night Live. This is your opportunity to meet our leadership team of a Hundredfold, because a Hundredfold is about a journey that we're on where we find our true identity, and by doing so, finding God's true identity. So we're here to come alongside of you on your journey and give you the resources, whether it's a study or a meditation, or introducing you to the leadership team and us expressing the journey that we've been on. So for the last several weeks, you've had an opportunity to hear our origin story, which is basically kind of our life and the path that we've been on, in some cases since childhood. So we had that opportunity to meet all of our leadership team and hear that origin story. So tonight we're going to take a different approach. As you know, we have our 21 days of gratitude, 21-day gratitude challenge that we did a couple of months ago. And for us on our journey, gratitude is a foundation that we need to establish in our life. Mm-hmm. And the 21 days of gratitude was the way to build the habit of gratitude. So because of the importance of gratitude in our lives, we thought it would be a good idea for us to talk amongst ourselves. And I'm actually going to ask each member their favorite day of the 21 days of gratitude and the reason why. So I think you'll find this very insightful, and I'm looking forward to hearing from each of our leadership tonight. So with that said, what I'd like to do is maybe start with Rich. Rich, what was your favorite day of the 21 days of gratitude, and why was it?
Well, I'll tell you what has become my favorite day. In the beginning, it was definitely not my favorite day, and that was day 7, which was freedom from negativity. But more specifically, the exercise at the end of day 7 was finding a very difficult situation or relationship and finding 10 points of gratitude about that situation or relationship. And I think having to find 10 points of gratitude, something that you can genuinely, sincerely be grateful for about any really crappy situation is difficult. And I remember the first time I did it, it literally took me 3.5 hours just to finish that exercise. But it was life-changing for me because it was the first time that I had to step out of victimhood, right? I had to come to terms with the fact in that moment that I really wanted to be a victim. And that was my life. I wanted to be mad and offended. I wanted to complain. I wanted to see the negative. I wanted to see that those people as bad and me as good. And I think anytime you have one of those really nasty, egregious sort of situations, it's tough just to face the situation, let alone I was forced to give up my righteous ground as the offended, right? And then I had to go find the good. Right. And I remember the first time I did it, I was driving from Ripon to Bakersfield. I had 3.5 hours. I thought, okay, I'm just going to take 10 minutes and I'm going to knock this thing out. 3.5 hours later, I'm pulling into Bakersfield and I'm still not done. Yeah. And I spent the entire 3.5 hours being hacked off. Right. Because I'm trying to muster up anything that like resembles gratitude. And honestly, when you're trying to do that about something that's caused you a lot of pain and bitterness and resentment, you just feel fake, right? And I remember I felt like I was making things up just to complete the exercise. And it's something that's occupied so much heart space, so much mind space, so much negativity, and then just decide, oh, guess what? Today, Doug says I got to be grateful for this. I remember being like mad at you, like right around Fresno, right?
You're welcome.
Like, are you kidding me? I was like, I'm a tornado of anger about this, and I'm not done. I want to be this tornado of anger. And so what I didn't understand, what I do understand now, what I didn't then, is that every time I thought about it, every time I didn't think about it, it was really disconnecting, and I was choosing to be disconnected from God's love power. And it's always there, but I willingly disconnected from it. And ultimately, I disconnected from the divinity that's in me, and I tried to let my humanity handle that situation, which meant that I was always going to choose victimhood, right? So the net effect after those 3.5 hours was, I'm pulling into Bakersfield, and I'm like, I had a decision to make. right? I had to decide whether I was going to step out of my humanity and then step into my divinity and to see the situation from the spirit. And I had to choose to be God to that situation and stop letting it drag me down and sort of twist me. And what I didn't realize was in my subconscious mind, so it was affecting everything in my life and had been doing so for months and months. So this exercise really helped me to choose to forgive and to let it go, to understand that I was a victim and I could choose a different path. And I want to be clear to anybody that's watching, like you never have to be thankful for pain and misery. You don't have to be thankful for difficult situations. But I did have to be thankful for the very concept of forgiveness and that how forgiveness frees me from my own prison. I had to be thankful for the fact that now I truly understand that my external reality, the world that's around me, is simply a reflection of my internal state of being, of my heart and my mind. And I became genuinely grateful for knowing now I know how to take control of my thoughts, how to change them and create a different reality for myself going forward. And I was unaware. Right? And at its essence, gratitude is really awareness. And then it becomes a state of being, right? And gratitude is what connects me to this truth that not only do I have the power to manifest this life that I seek, but that I am that power. So, and all of that came, again, it didn't come from the first time that I did day 7, but when I went to this the third time, then I really began to understand these things. And that's when I knew that gratitude had changed my life.
Yeah. So the process of you continuing to do that, you know, taking that drive to Fresno, then to Bakersfield, but actually having the fortitude to complete it and do it. Because some people would just say, you know, it's too hard, I'm going to give up. What do you feel was the motivation behind you wanting to continue and complete that exercise?
Well, at that time, it was because I was type A. Right? I had to get it done, right? But the deeper I got into this around, you know, Visalia, I just remember it so clearly that I was like, wow, I've looked at this thing wrong for so long and I've let this thing just wreck me willingly. And that if God doesn't look at it like this, show me how I can look at it like this and help me to let it go. And it wasn't just, when you begin to do that, you begin to see the totality of your role in your life. And so that the fortitude was, I felt like there was a spirit saying to me, there's something deeper here that you need to look at, and you can be free from this if you'll just keep pressing in.
Right, right. And also just the very fact that the thought process of, hey, I do have the choice of power. I don't have to control this, that I can actually look at it differently than I ever have before. I would think that would have been pretty liberating.
Extremely liberating. And again, forgiveness is always for us, right? Forgiveness frees us from our own prison. And I knew forgiveness. I just didn't know. Forgiveness to me was, all right, I forgive you. I'm going to put it on my brain. I'm just going to move on. It wasn't trying to find things to be actually grateful for about that. That was a layer and an extra element that I'd never done before. And that helped me to, in my mind, be God to that situation and look at it from, you know, that point of view.
Yeah, excellent. Very good, Rich. Thanks for sharing that. So now I'd like to switch over to Marissa. So Marissa, you have day number 10. And that is Good Morning, God.
God, thank you.
Thank you, Day. So what was it about that day in the 21-day gratitude challenge that that spoke to you?
Well, I guess for me, because your recommendation to do it in the morning is so difficult for me because my day is hit the ground running before I can get a pause to actually sit down and have my coffee with God and do my gratitudes. So I have to change my schedule. And this one was really helpful for me because when I open up my eyes in the morning, instead of letting the fact that maybe I didn't sleep well, or maybe very tired and I'm not looking forward to the day for some reason or whatever, that just saying, good morning, God, thank you for allowing me to open up my eyes and experience another day. Thank you that my feet are strong as I get up and get my day ready. it just put me in a better frame of mind so that when I did get my pause so I could sit down my gratitude book, I was ready. And it didn't matter if my son was in a bad mood and didn't want to do distance learning. It didn't matter if, you know, I didn't get breakfast done on time. Didn't matter if he didn't want to sit there. He wants to sit on my lap. And, you know, at 45 pounds, really exhausting.
Yeah, 6-year-olds can be exhausting.
But it just helped me to always start my day fresh. And then with the way I adjusted my gratitude journal with kind of prepping my journal at night. So I kind of set my mind right at night, and then I was up and then ready to set my mind
now,
right.
You talked about that last week, which I thought was brilliant. Maybe describe that a little bit more. So you say the night before you prep the next day.
Yeah, so what I do is, so I do what you say. At the end of the day, go through your best thing. So I look at my current day. Let's say today is, actually, I know I'm on 518 list of gratitude because I've been tagging them.
Awesome.
So I look at my today, I look at what I wrote. I add something like if maybe Caden had a special activity today or something else popped up. You know, maybe I got my 10 and I'm like, oh, you know what? Something happened today and I'm going to add that to my thankful list. And then I do my best thing. And I can never choose one because, you know, I'll have like one day I'm tired and Caden's doing his gross motor and I think, oh, I get a little bit of a break. And all of a sudden he says, come on, mama, come dance with me. And I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's like 9 words. You know, that's 2 sentences. So that's a big deal. That's so, you know, that goes in my journal or, you know, we have a really good activity day. So I wind up doing a couple of things of my best thing. And then I do maybe a gratitude prayer. Mm-hmm. And then I flip the page and I start tomorrow's. So gotcha. I write the date. I write my gratitude number 519, count your blessings. God, thank you for, and then I go 1 through 10. And I kind of do like the first half. I'll just sit and think of, you know, like right now, thank goodness, thank you God for my French press because my coffee maker died during a pandemic for the third time. You know, thank you for allowing us to have a nice warm home. Thank you for electricity because I know some people don't have it. So it'll be anything. It could be a whole variety of different things. And I prep them. And sometimes I'll do, you know, because of, but sometimes I just kind of do the list. And then I, you know, finish up my evening, do my gratitude prayer because I have my prayer reminder. Sometimes I'll meditate. I'll do a 3 or 10-minute meditation. If my baby, you know, calms down enough, I can do it. Yeah. And just set my mind right so I can go to sleep. And if I don't have anything to visualize for my meditation, I have a really good sleep meditation, which is actually nice to fall asleep to.
Love it.
And then when I wake up in the morning and I know I have to hit the ground running, I do my thank you, God. Here's another day. Got air in my lungs, got 2 healthy feet, got a strong body. Let's go. I got my coffee date with you at 11:30. And Caden says, boom cards. And I give him his tablet and I sit down.
There you go. Love it. So 518, that's 518 days of 10 days of blessings.
Anywhere between 5 and 10. I started with 10 and sometimes what happens was I felt like I had to get 10. And then I said, you know what, let me get good quality ones. Yeah. So if I get 6 today, that really means something to me, then those are the 6. If I got 10, then those are the 10. And if I, thank you God for PlayStations and Wii's because they occupy my son.
Is that, yeah, right.
Can you change this for him?
Well, that's great, Marissa. Thanks for sharing that. And the challenge for day 10 is before you even get out of bed, it starts.
Don't think anything negative. Say thank you.
Exactly.
Don't think anything negative. You know, I don't go, oh gosh, I'm tired, I can't wait. No, it's all right, gone, all thoughts captive, the obedience in Christ, thank you. And it could be everything from the smallest little thing to the most biggest thing. It doesn't matter, I just keep on doing it.
What have you seen as being the biggest change since you've implemented this? Going back to, 518 days ago, what do you feel is the biggest change since then?
Well, one, the first thing I noticed is that when I first started, you really do, okay, I'm doing my 10 things. This is day one, doing my 10 things. And I don't know about anybody else, but I would sit there going, 10 things, 10 things, 10 things. I know I'm grateful for a lot of things, but really, what really am I grateful? I mean, I would think that they had to be really, really important, right? So I would sit there with my list. They have to be meaningful. They have to be important. They have to be big. And finally, I just said, forget it. Let's just start with the basics.
Right.
And then my list has developed over time to not just present thinking, but the knowing thinking. And I say knowing because future would be, thank you that it will happen. It's more like, thank you that I'm going to have my new house. I have it. It's going to be furnished the way I want it. It's going to be where it needs to be. And I'm going to be with my parents. And it's more the knowing of how it is.
Yeah.
And yes, I do still have, my todays, thank you for the coffee being the perfect invention of God. Thank you for water, because besides coffee, water, don't need anything else. So that's one thing. And my lists have just evolved more. And the other thing is, like, even if I do have a bad night's sleep, or maybe yesterday was just, now when these days happen, I don't really see them as totally bad things. But the days when I can't keep anything in my hands, I'm dropping everything. And the days where I just seem to get delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and I can't get out of the house. And instead of getting anxious about them, I'm like, well, thank you, God, for making me late, because I know I'm not supposed to be out there for some reason. Or thank you that maybe I'm supposed to be concentrating on not picking up anything today, because usually sharp objects are problematic for me. So it's just, you turn your hat on a different way.
Right. Very good. Thank you, Marissa. That was fantastic. All right, let's turn to Joe. Hey, Joe. So what 21-day gratitude challenged you the most, and what did you like most about it? And you had day 18.
Yeah, Love Detective is one that actually launched me into the present 30-day challenge that I am working on. It really focuses on all those points of connection you have around you, figure out who they are, how they are, figure out how to love them and how to support them. It's very simple. It's what you do naturally. It's what my parents trained me to do, especially my mother. She was the glue that always kept together everything around us. And so this was just a crystallization of what I already knew to do. And it launched me into a 30-day challenge that's as much for me as it is for anyone else. I probably have the most vibrant and wonderful friend group of anyone I've ever met. I'm putting Miracle Grow on it. And it is magnificent. And just the ability, Doug, really to have you there with me and doing this. You're one of the closest people I have in the world, and that is magnificent. It's been a good excuse to connect further.
Yeah, there you go.
It doesn't get any better than this. So it ends up being very, very simple. You just do what you know how to do. And I don't need anything more than a phone. As a matter of fact, I don't even have to make a phone call. I can text and connect with people all day, every day in a warm, loving way, those that are very close to me, and those that just need a little extra TLC. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for coming up with that. Thank you very much for setting that all up. And you basically set me up for success. And there's nothing better than that. Put me on the path.
Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, we love the daily inspirations on the happiness challenge, which extends into friendships, because the more you reach out to your friends, and the close network of friends support you and you support them, and we're all connected, which is what we're finding is even more incredible. A little segue. So as Rashi is connecting, so for the month of February, we're actually going to do a love challenge in February, obvious reasons, right? Valentine's, but we're going to have a 28-day love challenge. So we're going to be putting that together. So that will keep you encouraged in this vein of gratitude and happiness and now love. So be looking forward to that. So the Love Detective, so the word detective, what do you think that means for you, Joe, for this day 18? And why was it the detective? Did that catch you, or I don't know, just your thoughts on that?
I just turned detective into one of my favorite things in life. I turned it into exactly what happened to me when I was 7 years old. I happened to be walking to a dumpster in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, walking by a dumpster.
Okay.
Walking by this huge dumpster, I saw a $5 bill, which way back then looked like a fortune.
Yeah. I'm
7 years old. I jumped into that dumpster and spent the rest of the afternoon finding $27 that had been errantly thrown into the dumpster. I was the happiest person in the universe. It's just treasure hunting. I always loved treasure hunting. So a detective, nothing more than a treasure hunter.
Yeah.
And I love doing that.
Yeah.
So that was it. And it's fun. You go out and you find the best treasures you can. Thank you very much. I'm watching one on my video screen right now. It doesn't get any better than this.
Love it, Joe. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. All right, Rashi, good timing on your part. So thanks for jumping in. And we, again, are talking about the 21 days of gratitude. Now, what day was the one that captured you, and why? How did it make a difference?
Yeah, sure. So day 4, health blessings,
yep.
Absolute favorite, because lately I've been really into paying more attention to myself and giving myself more time. And by myself, I really mean my health, mental health, physical health. I've always been the type that's been quite a bit unhealthy, you know, overweight since I was a child and into my adolescence. And so after becoming a mother, I kind of, you know, tried to transform myself and work on myself, but more so now than before. And then just getting into the gratitude challenge, you know, the first time around, I didn't thoroughly do it, but this time around I've started again. And just day 4 really captured me, because I have come to understand through, you know, getting more of an understanding of the Bible as well, where we talked about the tabernacle and how our body is the temple of God, and how, you know, we should take care of it. And if God dwells within us, then that connection with God, with the Spirit, only enhances when our bodies are healthy and whole and happy, through nourishment, through everything that we absorb, whether it's information, external information, whether it's the food that we're putting into our bodies, and things like that. So, and then also I'm just, you know, I'm amazed at this creation, this mechanism that God has created within us, that it's automatically running, right? I mean, just thinking about it, we don't have to kind of wake up and tell our brain to kickstart, or we don't have to tell our heart to start pumping. You know, can you imagine how much of an effort that would take for us to say, hey brain, you know, like I'm awake now, like let's get the day going, or something of that nature. So it's quite amazing that it just automatically starts, you know. from just every little atom in our body that's functioning at a very microscopic level. Sorry.
Right.
I speak multiple languages, so my English, my pronunciation sometimes are a little weird. But anyhow, yeah, so every atom in our body, you know, everything that is working at a very minuscule level to our mind that works at such a grand level that controls everything and handles the mechanism of the entire body.
Mm-hmm.
And so just, yeah, again, for it to be a temple of God, I've noticed that when I'm eating clean, I'm also, when I'm being grateful, when I'm being thankful for everything that I have and thankful for this body, for it to work the way that it is, it also enhances my connection to my spirit and enhances the connection to God, especially during meditation or prayer, where I feel that connection is very clear and I'm able to, again, enhance intuition as well. And so yeah. And then also we're reading Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And there was something in the book that I really loved. And if you don't mind, it's just a quick sentence.
Yeah,
and
please.
It says, the creative intelligence, which made all my organs, fashioned my body and started my heart, could heal its own handiwork. This is what he realized. And there's an ancient proverb that says, the doctor dresses the wound and God heals it. So that really intrigued me because I understand that, you know, again, God created us. He created this immensely complex mechanism and it's functioning without us asking for it to do so. So the least we can do is just be thankful for each and every part that's working and functioning just to keep us alive, right? And I love the point that Rich made earlier in his favorite day, which was gratitude creates awareness. And just being thankful, I've noticed, you know, when I was doing this day 4, just being thankful alone has created so much awareness within myself, where I'm like, you know, like look at my mind, even though externally I may be going through 10 to 15 different things, you know, managing the home and you know, managing relationships and things like that. Just kind of focusing back into the body and just being thankful that, you know, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm breathing, and just these basic necessities are functioning the way that they should.
And not taking those for granted.
Absolutely not.
Right? And I think that's the mode that we get into. It's just the fact that your heart beats without you asking.
Right.
And being thankful for that. I mean, but we take advantage, or not advantage, but we take advantage of it or for granted, excuse me, that it is supporting us, everything. So
it just kind of goes to the back burner, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I wrote down a quote today that it says, our overall health is determined by our brain health. So, you know, you just described a lot about the body and just how it functions. And then you also touched on the brain and how important that is for meditation and such. But that really is the basis for the gratitude, is that you're building your brain health by changing its structure and its thought process and being aware that you're aware, being aware of the thoughts that you're letting in, victimhood or fear or anger, and converting that to gratitude. Because what we can't do is, all right, I'm just not going to think about it. You know, Marissa, you talked about your home. I'm going to get a home, you know, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a great place. And, you know, you think about that, but then there's no gratitude behind it. So you can't jump from fear to, you know, it's never going to happen, or anxiousness to, I'm going to get that house. That jump is too far. So gratitude allows us to build that foundation, that then that jump isn't very far. Of course I would get that, because look at all the blessings in my life. Look at everything. I've got my health. You know, I'm not a victim anymore. So your whole spirit, your whole mind changes so that we can be thankful and be sincere in the heart. We're not faking it. It's sincere.
And sorry, just another point, just to go back to you talking about restructuring our minds. That's a great point, because also I was thinking about how gratitude is a vibration, it's a frequency. So when we're being grateful for each aspect of our lives, each aspect of the body specifically, we're sending vibrations to that particular part of the body. So even just not in the mind, you're actually kind of restructuring things within the body as well. And at an atomic level, if we really think about it, you know, we're sending happy vibrations to every little aspect of it that can then basically work at its full potential, because otherwise everything is kind of dumbed down and like, oh, okay, it's another day. You know, I kind of like look at it like little people kind of like working together to create me, right? Yeah.
Well, that's a really good way of thinking about it. And talking about the power of thoughts, the study of water from that Japanese guy, and I don't remember his name, but basically he took water crystals and he would freeze them, and he would speak over the water and say love and joy and enlightenment, and you would have this beautiful pattern. The water would crystallize into a beautiful pattern. But then if there was, oh, I hate you, or there's anger, that crystal of water would turn into a nasty looking thing.
Correct.
But so talking about our body, right? Our body is 70% water.
Correct.
And you think if we're constantly giving attitude or giving gratitude, then that water is crystallizing into something beautiful.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Little smiley faces everywhere.
There you go. I love it. I love it. All right. So we've got probably 5, wanted to end like maybe 10 after or so. So we've got a few more minutes. Anybody else would like to comment after hearing from us, from the group?
What are you going to talk about your favorite day, Doug?
Oh, good question. Good question. So yes, I'll bring that up. But before I do that, I would like to have Rich, if you don't mind. I didn't prepare you for this, but I know you're always prepared. The importance of the 63 days, right? That it's not just 21 days. It's actually 3 times 21 for a total of 63 days. Can you speak to the importance of not just doing 21 days, but doing it 3 different times consecutively? And you're on mute.
I knew that.
Okay.
Thank you. The 63 is really important, the 3 consecutive times. So there's the old wisdom that is wrong, right? Science is constantly failing forward, that it takes 21 days to form a habit. Well, it does take 21 days to form a habit, but it takes another 21 days to set it into our system and another 21 days to forget it, meaning it's written into our autonomic nervous system and it becomes the basis in our subconscious mind. So that means it becomes the perception through which is our subconscious mind, through which we perceive life. Then it's in us. At 63 days, it takes that length of time to tear down the dendrites and the old neural pathways of the negative thinking and create new neural pathways and new dendrites, those tree-like structures in the brain that hold our thoughts. And it takes 63 days for that process to complete. And then it's literally part of us at that point. But it's also, then it becomes second nature at that point. Anytime before then, you lose the effect of that being written into your autonomic nervous system. So it's really important to do it 63 days straight.
Love it. Love it.
Or 518.
Or yeah, Marissa, 518, exactly. So yeah, so I'll end the discussion with mine, and I'm going to cheat. I'm going to give you 3. The first one is day 1, which is the 10 blessings. You got to do 10, Marissa, 6 or 10 or whatever, but you have to do it every single day, right? And you just got to form that habit. You got to build it in. So for me, the 10 blessings is a no compromise. Day number 2 is the prayer rock. Vitally important that at the end of the day, you find some sort of object, whether it's a pen, you set it next to your nightstand at night, you hold it, you put it in your hand, and then you think through your day. What was the most amazing thing? What am I most grateful for? And what's cool about that is there's things that you forgot, and it happens to me all the time. Oh, that's right. Man, that was amazing. How could I forget that? So then you remember it. So you're waking up in the morning with gratitude and you're going to bed at night with gratitude. So those are my, those are musts. So if anybody's listening to this, do that every single day and every single night. And then my third favorite is the 21 ABC of Praise. And the reason I like that one is just because it's so simple. You're driving in the car, you're sitting somewhere in a waiting line, you know, at the bank or at the grocery store, and you just go through the alphabet. A, what am I thankful for? The letter A. Thank you for this apple. Thank you for the company I work with, which starts with A. Then you go to B. Thank you for my boys, my 2 boys. Thank you for the beauty of creation. So you just think of as many things in that letter until you're done, you get to Z, or until the line is gone, but it just kind of gets you in that mode. Or even when you're sitting at a stop sign or a stoplight doing that. So it's just real simple and you can do it. And I like it because it's fun. So, all right. So with that, I will, we'll go ahead and close this out. However, I want to share my screen for just a second. And I want to show everybody our amazing website that we have developed. So when you go into the 100foldjourney.com, the first thing that will come up will be get on the list. And basically you are signing up to be part of our email list, part of our group, that then you'll be notified of various things like a blog or an upload of a meditation or a study, okay? And in here, you'll see, you know, different tabs. The January events, there's a video that talks about everything we're doing in January. There's a blog that we upload every morning, every Monday morning. There's a Meditate with Kate, which is on Tuesday nights. Wednesday Night Live, which is what we're doing now. And basically you can click on these and you will see that here's Marissa's story from last week. So tonight, I will upload tonight's video onto this website so you'll be able to see. Now, here's the important one, is the 21 days of gratitude. So if you're looking for, all right, you guys, I love this talk. Now, where can I find it? You go to 100-Fold Journey, you go to challenges, you click on 21 days of gratitude, and bam, there it is. So you'll see the video for day 1 and the introduction. You'll see the 21-day gratitude book, and you'll see Count Your Blessings. So you just click on this guy, and I'll just show you this as an example. So here's the day 1, Count Your Blessings. Day 2, prayer reminder, right? And then Count Your Blessings, when you're doing the 10 blessings a day, here's the page that you can use. You can buy a spiral notebook, you can print these out, whatever you want, but this can be used for that. And then of course, we've got the videos that you can click on, and you can actually click this into YouTube, and you'll see the video. And inside of YouTube, there's actually, sorry. Inside the YouTube, there's actually, you'll see all 21 days inside YouTube. So it'll see day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, okay? So all of that is right there and available for everybody. And with that said, I think that concludes this evening. I appreciate everyone showing up from the leadership team. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for just the support of myself and especially the members in our 100-Fold group, and giving them the resources and the ideas and the motivation to continue on their journey to finding 100-Fold. So with that said, we'll end this session. Be sure to look for us next Wednesday, and we'll have another topic that we'll be talking about as a group. So that's it. Again, thanks everybody.
Okay.
Bye for now.